Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Monica, and today I want to talk with you about that it's not too late. And what I mean by that is that if you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, or beyond, and there are things that you've always dreamed of accomplishing or things that you want to do, it is not too late to do those things. Now, I am one that I have always leaned toward looking up and reading about things that are motivational and inspirational. And as I get into my own retirement and move toward accomplishing things that I want to do, I did some research on others that have accomplished things later in life, everything just to keep myself motivated as well. And I wanted to share those with you about some of the research that I found. Some of these individuals I'm going to talk about, you may be more familiar with than others, but I found them all inspiring. And so I wanted to share these with you. I hope you find them helpful. So to start out, and I am going to be referring to notes. I couldn't memorize, excuse me, all of this. So I did make a number of notes here. So my apologies that I will be looking down for part of this video. But the first person is Grandma Moses. Now, some or all of you may or may not be familiar with Grandma Moses, but she was a folk artist. And she actually started painting at the age of 78. And by the age of 80 or by her 80s, her art hung in major museums and toured internationally. And like I said, she became one of America's most beloved folk artists. And according to the research that I found, the interesting thing about her too is that she didn't paint earlier in her life. This was not like a lifelong passion or anything. She did not paint in her youth. She never attended art school, and that she actually picked up a paintbrush because her arthritis made embroidery too painful. And so, that's talk about when one door closes, another one opens. I mean, that's amazing. Another is Colonel Sanders. We're all familiar with KFC. Well, Colonel Sanders founded KFC at the age of 65. And according to this, before doing that, he was broke. He lived off Social Security, and he had actually failed in the restaurant business in the past. Everything, but he didn't let that stop him. Again, he founded KFC at the age of 65. Hey, Laura Ingalls Wilder. I think most of us are familiar with the Little House on the Prairie TV series. She published her first novel at the age of 65. Prior to that, she was a farmer's wife, a mother, a teacher, and according to this, a newspaper columnist. But of course, her books went on to become, that beloved TV series, as well as, she sold millions of copies of her books about Little House on the Prairie. Another one, Frank McCourt. Now, that may not be a name that you're familiar with, but he is a Pulitzer Prize winning author. He wrote the book Angela's Ashes at the age of 65, or he published it at the age of 65. And according to this, he lived most of his life in poverty. He worked as a school teacher for decades, quietly telling his stories to his students, who later encouraged him to write them down. And those stories became Angela's Ashes, which was an international bestseller, won the Pulitzer Prize, and later became a motion picture. Okay. And from our school days, most of us probably remember Roget's Thesaurus that we had to reference when we were writing essays and different things. Well, Peter Mark Roget published Roget's Thesaurus at the age of 73. According to this, he had a love of words, and he had just spent years collecting words on his own privately, kind of thing, and finally published that at the age of 73. And of course, it became one of the most utilized reference books ever for those in the academic world or for writers and so forth. The next one, and I apologize that I may pronounce this name incorrectly, is Fauja Singh. The first name is Fauja. Well, he began running marathons after age 89. According to this, after losing his wife and son, he fell into deep grief and started running as a way to deal with that, evidently. Then he completed multiple marathons and became the oldest marathon finisher in history. And again, that was at 89. And then the final one on my list that I found is an author by the name of Harriet Dorr, D-O-E-R-R is her last name. And she won the National Book Award at the age of 74. She also earned her college degree at the age of 67. How amazing is that? And I share all of these, not to say that what you're interested in, or what your dream is, doesn't have to be something that's really huge, or that's going to make you famous, or that's even going to bring in a lot of money. If those things happened, great, but they don't have to be like that. It's really what speaks to you, kind of thing. That could be anything that maybe you've always dreamed of, traveling to Italy, or maybe hiking in the Grand Canyon, or going on a hot air balloon ride, or like me, writing a mystery novel. I'm currently working, that's been one of my dreams. I've started working on writing a mystery novel. I've also always wanted to do a cross-country road trip. I'm putting plans in place to do that hopefully later this year. But it could be anything. Did you want to go back to school and finish a degree? It could be, do you love gardening? Maybe you want to grow prize-winning orchids or something like that. It could be anything. It really is just whatever speaks to you. Just know that it's not too late. Go for it. Why not? And that's the thing, is why not? So I really hope that you all have found this video encouraging and helpful. I would love to hear in the comments, what you're interested in, what your dream is, what you're pursuing, kind of thing, or if you've accomplished something you always wanted to do, a little bit later in life, or if you've gone back to school, or any of those things. I would love to hear about it in the comments and see what everyone else is doing, and would love it if we could, reach out and keep each other motivated about what we can accomplish, everything. So that's all I've got for you today. I hope you have found this helpful and hopefully inspiring and motivational. And I really appreciate you visiting my channel. If you watched this video, please give me a thumbs up. But otherwise, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks. Bye.